we're training, we're learning, and then at some point Peter came up, he said, you're not learning very well. You're sucking right now, or whatever. He said something like that. Or there's the story of him working with his teachers, and I told you about him saying, like, get the dung out of your ears. And then the people learn faster. Or I've had experiences where I've been training people at, say, like the month-long or the winter retreat a couple years ago, and I get on them about something, and because something's not happening, and so I, like, yeah, you get this, like, hello. And or there's other times where I've been working with Peter, and then it's not working, and then it's like, look at this! And it's like, this is a problem. And then it finally, like, there's a confrontation. And I'm not saying that, it's just that I guess it's that same message again, where there have been times where I've gotten the feedback that something isn't right and I'm fucking up, in rough terms, like I'm being a fuck up, or I'm not doing something. And then thankfully I have people in my life like Ralstons or others that, but not many others, right? I don't know, there's a few. And we go off of, like, there's this guy, Stuart Emery, and he says, a friend is somebody who supports you and not your bullshit. And so then I told Peter one time, you must be a really good friend. Because he's very much not with the bullshit a lot. A great friend. I didn't say comfortable. I didn't say fun to be around, but a good friend. Why? Because in my interactions with this person, I've grown, I've become more powerful, I've become more clear, I've become conscious, I've become skillful in ways that I'm certain I would not have if I didn't have a friend. But then as I sit and wonder about what it's like, and as I watch myself work with you guys and watch your minds as you confront certain things, and I'm like, it does seem necessary for your growth, or for anybody's growth for that matter, to have these challenges. Or it's not necessarily easy, right? But then somehow through the challenges, like, a new skill happens. And I don't know if I'm trying to, is there an easy way to do this for you, for me, like, is there anything about learning that just comes easily? Is there anything about learning a new skill that isn't like some form of a challenge, or something where you struggle at least a little bit? I can't find any. You see? And then where would I be without those times when, as if from outside, somebody else has the intelligence to see something I'm missing and then tell me about it. And maybe even it takes courage to tell you, because not everybody wants to hear it, and they might have a reaction. I mean, I've never had a reaction. Never. I'm sure none of you have ever had a reaction either. Like, see, so then when I think about it, I'm like, well, shit. So I guess that's just how it goes. Or like, there's an interesting video. And again, you see, like, I think about these things because Steve Jobs accomplished a lot of stuff, and he's telling a story about him being a young man, and he ran into like his neighbor or something like that, and his neighbor was this older guy and brought him back to show him these rocks. And he said, come here, check this out. And he grabs these rocks that didn't look like much, and he showed Steve Jobs these rocks, and then they put them in a rock tumbler and then turned it on, and it's, Steve Jobs is telling this story. I'm telling Steve Jobs' story, okay? But the rocks are tumbling, and he said, come back in a few days. Okay, and so he's young, right? Younger. Comes back in a few days, and there's these beautiful rocks in there. And it's like the rocks become beautiful from the conflict, from the rubbing, from the challenge, from the confusion, the chaos, perhaps. I'm adding this stuff now, right? You see, and then out of that comes this thing of beauty, yeah? And then you can tell that clearly worked for Apple, okay? Because apparently their company culture, and I mean, I'm all right if Steve Jobs is a fucking raging asshole, but out of that, like he founded a lot of how his company dynamics on that one thing from an old guy to a young kid. You see, it's like cool. You see, and then it's like, to me, makes something good. And so, like similarly here, I was just pondering, you know, for me, I was always a nice guy. But I can't be a nice guy and serve you, especially not as an apprentice or in consciousness work. So there's my confrontation, or one of my many, right? It's like, uh-oh, it sucks to change. This is uncomfortable. But through that discomfort comes something else. Yeah? Unless you guys can find a better way. Nope. Okay, well, I guess we got to do it this way then. And I'll just keep doing my best to hit you with something, or, hey, you're not seeing this, or what the fuck? Oh my God, you're pointed in this direction. Not that way. I've told you 1,000 times not that way. Over here, stupid, or whatever. Or, please come this way. Whatever. You like chocolate? You like chocolate? Where is she? You like chocolate? Oh yeah, I'll give you sons of chocolate. Just go over here, okay, or whatever. I'll do my job. All right. Anyway, I just thought that'd be useful to share for you. Also to get a video for me. And this microphone works pretty good, by the way. It makes crisp sound. If you want to know more, let me know. I'll tell you which one to buy. All right. So now let's do this one. And so, so as you struggle, maybe you can use this. How could you use what I just said? Just every so often, if things are challenging, and as long as your teacher's on track. Sometimes teachers, you don't know what you're going to get. Sometimes I don't know about their intentions. But if their intentions are good, and you're uncomfortable, maybe consider, okay, you roll with it, and what might come out of going through that, or what might come through, like continuing and working and working and working, because it is like the rocks, like I have certain skills and abilities to move my body. Why? Because I've done it again and again and again and again and again and again. And then I watch you guys training, and my intuitive sense is like this one technique. We're supposed to do review, and I kind of want to get through everything, but as I watch you guys work, I'm like, just let them work. Because you're working on it. I can see it. It's good. And the more you work on it, you'll get easier with it. You'll be able to move better. You'll start to make some of those distinctions about, like, where is my body in space, how to line it up so you're not losing your balance or whatnot, or you start to learn some new directions to go. And then you get easier with it. And it's like, okay, now you're developing a skill that then, you might carry on in your life or in other areas where you're training. You'll be able to move that you couldn't move that way before. So I see that as a good thing. Yeah, anyway. And Peter had mentors too. And I wonder, the luck of the draw. You end up in a life, and then certain people you end up being close to. And some of those people are really fucking cool, and they do good stuff. Others, not so much. You see? And then somehow, if you want the growth or the learning, there's people that help with that. And there's others that don't. It's very profound. Okay, and then if you can be with them in a way that impacts you and it makes a difference, then it will make a difference. And if you eat a watermelon, you eat a watermelon, and that's it.
No, damn it.
Okay, go ahead, do this technique. Thank you.